Good morning, Michael Walsh with Roger Norgel here. Welcome to Norwal Farm. Well, lambing 2026 has started. We started 2 days ago. Both the ewes, I had them marked for being due on the 6th of January and the 7th, and one of them lambed on the 7th and one this morning on the 9th. So we're off to a really good start. They both had twins, nice strong lambs. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, ring the notification bell, and hit the like button. That helps us. And also, if you would please leave us a comment and share this video with a friend. So let's get started and we'll check on the ewes. We've got our second set of twins. It's Sunday, January the 9th, twin ewe lambs. The ewe over there and that pen had twin ram lambs 2 days ago. These were the two I had marked down that were due on the 6th and 7th of January. So those were accurate breeding dates. But our table, I think, considers a 147-day gestation, and they can vary from 143 to 152. So I would consider these on time. Nice sized lambs. I cut the amount of grain back to the pregnant ewes this year. Last time I thought they were a little fat in October. So these are nice sized lambs. The ewes not too fat. So I think that was a good thing that we cut them back. I've iodined their cords. They've had their 3 ounces of powdered colostrum we mix up. Give them each 3 ounces. And then they've actually had a warm water enema too to help pass that first stool, that meconium. And it's about 22 degrees this morning. I toweled them off, but I don't think they need any supplemental heat. Giving them the colostrum via stomach tube gets some energy into them, helps them warm up. Mom's doing a good job of drying them off. I intervened on her. I was watching during the night, actually. She'd gone into labor. And about, 6:30, I woke up, and she had had the water bag out, and she was pushing pretty hard, and I didn't know because I fell asleep between 3 and 6. So I didn't know. So I thought, I'm just going to check her. The first lamb was just at the birth canal, but it had both elbows back. So I went ahead and delivered it, and then the second lamb was right there. So I just went ahead and delivered them both. Didn't want to have any chance of any problems. But nice lambs are up. The one lamb's trying to nurse already. So they're in good shape. So we're off to a good start. I really thought the Jacob ewe last night was going to possibly lamb. She was showing signs of labor, and I think her pelvis has relaxed so much that her hips kind of, hip joints kind of go out of joint a little bit. She's so relaxed there because when she walks, she kind of has a hitch in her steps. So she's 5 days away, but she is really huge. And the size of these lambs over here, I'm afraid she might have triplets. I don't know, because you compare this ewe here, her outline, and then hers is much bigger. The smaller ewe was scanned for twins. The bigger ewe was actually scanned for a single, but I'm confident she'll have at least twins and possibly triplets. I hope she just has twins, because triplets aren't really a bonus. They are if you've got another one, you can graft them on too, but they just seem to do better if everybody has twins. So we're off to a good start for lambing 2026. They were shivering a bit before I put the brooder in there, and they still are just a little right now, but not nearly as much. So that'll help them warm up, and Mom's still licking them, drying them off. And with that warm colostrum I gave them, they'll probably take a nap for an hour or so, and they should be pretty well dry by then and get up and get nursing. We always give the ewe a small bucket of warm water, and you can see she drank about a third of that. And that holds a little over a gallon. I think it's a gallon, I think it's a 5-quart bucket. So she drank about a quart of water. And we have the brooders. It's not super cold today, but it is like 20 here in the barn. And I got the brooders. I just like to use them. Helps dry the lambs off, keeps them warm. And once they're dry and nursing good, then they don't need it. In the super cold weather, like last year, we had a lamb. First lamb was born when it was 2 below zero. It was under the brooder for a couple days, and even in that weather, under the brooder it was 40. So the first set of lambs, when they were born, it was 40 degrees, so I didn't have to use it on them. But for these two, we've got 3 brooders, and it's easy just to hang it here from the board. That shroud around it, it's actually a metal garbage pail, 5-gallon, I think, but or maybe 10. But that directs the heat downward. Plus, it keeps the ewe from bumping the bulb. There's another shield around the bulb inside the brooder. So we'll leave that on for today. Probably leave it on until tomorrow. But they're getting sleepy now because they had their colostrum tubed, and I'm going to put them underneath the light. That'll help them dry off. So, and then probably another hour or two they'll be up nursing. These lambs are about 12 hours old, and other than giving them their initial powdered colostrum with a stomach tube as soon as they're born, iodining the navel, and then giving them a warm water enema, help them pass that first stool, I don't like to do anything else to the lambs till they're at least 2 days old. Spray marking them on the first day, especially with first-time moms, can sometimes cause the mom not to claim the lamb because it smells different. And I mean, from first being born this morning to now, just 12 hours, they're much more alert. They're latching right onto that nipple. And by 2 days of age, they're just much better. And so I just don't like to stress them too much that first day. I love that little lamb's tail. She swings it up over her head. Here she goes. But these two are off to a really tremendous start. I decided to leave this brooder up tonight, and we'll turn it off tomorrow. But they're sleeping under it, and they're very comfortable. So off to a fantastic start with these ewe lambs. This is the first set of twin ram lambs. They're 2 days old this morning and off to a really good start. So we're going to dock their tails and castrate them today. We use elastrator bands, rubber bands. So we'll put those on now, and then I'll come back in a couple of hours. It is just a little bit painful, but if you do it before 3 to 4 days of age, the pain receptors aren't fully developed, so it's much more humane to do it then. It's just a little discomfort for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then they're fine. So we're going to do that now, and then I'll come back later and mark them with paint and with their ear tag, because if I put the paint on now, they do lay down and kind of roll over, and sometimes they smear it. So we'll get them banded now, and then we'll come back later. This is the plier for the elastrator. It's a rubber band, a little green rubber band. You see it right there. And that goes down over those 4 prongs. I won't be able to put it on and hold the camera both, so I'll put it on and then I'll show you what it looks like. So there it is, applied to the plier. And I don't put it all the way down, because if you put it all the way down, then it's harder to get off and to roll off. So we'll get this applied to the tail and to the scrotum to castrate them. So we have his applied. You want to make sure both testicles are below the rubber band. There's the band. And then rams have nipples too. So you want to make sure, because you can see both nipples, one on the left and one on the right. You want to make sure that those are not incorporated into the rubber band. And then when you dock them, on the underneath side of the tail, there's a non-wooled area, and you can see where that's at. And you put the band right at the end of that. That leaves enough tail that it covers the anus, and on ewe lambs covers the vulva. Really important to prevent sunburn and fly bite. So this guy's done, and we're going to get his brother. Okay, just apply that, and you can see the rubber band there on the tail. Let me zoom in. The reason we dock them is because on long tails, especially those, they can get dirty and get manure and urine stuck to it, and flies can lay their eggs there, and then they can get maggots on there and get what they call fly strike and cause tissue damage. So we do that and we castrate the ram. We don't want any chance that they will breed their sisters or any of their mothers, and they're market lambs, not breeding animals. So that's why we castrate them. The next step for processing those lambs is to insert their ear tag, flock identification ear tag. And these are what are called RFID tags, radio frequency identification tags. So there was a microchip inside here, and this scanner then, when you scan it, reads it, and it will put it in their electronic record in the HerdWatch app. So when we put this in, this clips over, and this is the foal that I clipped on the adult sheep and on the feeder lambs. So once I put this in, I will clip this, so then that will make it a swivel tag, because those will stay in better. But I've banded those two lambs. They got their colostrum and everything the first day. So they're doing fine now, not feeling anything. So we're going to put this tag in, and we're going to weigh them, and we'll put their weight in their record as well. And then that'll be it for processing those lambs today. So here are the tagging pliers. And you can see there's a square notch there and circular spot there. That corresponds to the tag, so it's impossible to get that tag in wrong. And it fits in there like that. That secures the tag in there. Now, as I said, this is the part, once we get it in, I'm going to take those nippers and just cut that. Then this will be clasped together and locked in the ear, and then allows each one of these to swivel. My rule of thumb is in male lambs, I put it in their left ear. Female lambs, I put it in the right ear. That way, when you're looking at them in the pen, you can tell if they're males or females. It's just a little pinch. It's like getting your ear pierced. So it goes in here. Just real quick. All done. Next thing we do, like I said, is I'm going to clip that little piece. So that allows that to swivel now, and it won't get caught on anything, because that little piece would, actually I'm going to cut that little tab off down here. Cut that off. Let's do. There. So that allows that to swivel, so it can't get caught on anything. Now the next thing we need to do is weigh him. This is a digital scale, and it's in kilograms, so you have to change the units. And that changed it to pounds. And then what I do is I use a plastic 5-gallon bucket, and they weigh about 2.5 pounds, I think. Anyway, I just tear it out, hit the tear button, and that will zero it out. Then I stick the lamb in and weigh it in the bucket. I put the lamb in upside down, and it just sits still. And then I record the weight in their chart once I get them weighed. So we're going to go process these lambs, finish up. Put them in the bucket upside down, and then, like I said, I'll just, I weighed the bucket as 2.48, and we'll get a weight on him. So 14.76, and we subtract 2.48 from that. This is a True Test scanner. There's a number of different brands, but this is a common one. And it is linked, that blue light's on, so it's linked by Bluetooth to my phone. So when I scan the lamb, and that's the first one we did, so I will scan him here. You don't have to get right on the tag, just within distance there. And there's his number. And so I had added that number to his record when I tagged him. So when I pull up the FlockWatch app, when I scan him, he will pop up in the flock list. So both of these little guys are tagged, and got the red dots on their bum. Mom has hers refreshed. So that's it for now. And those tags, like I said, when I clip that, that allows that to swivel. And so it makes it a lot less likely that they'll get caught on something and pulled out, because I have had some of those pull out on the others. I think I've already done the ewes. I did that when I vaccinated them. So these guys are all done for right now, and they'll stay in this pen another day or so, and then I'm going to make a bigger pen. And then once that second set of twins are 2 to 3 days old, I will let them in with this mom and her baby here. I will probably make a bigger pen for that ewe over there with her lambs for a day or two before I put her in with this other ewe and lambs, because it's a little confusing for them to try to figure out who their mom is. So we do that in small family groups as we add to it, and then once you have a small family group, then you build another one, then you turn those two together. If you just put everybody together all at once, there can be a lot of mismothering. They can get confused, because the lamb has to learn to know who mother is. Part of it is the mother learning to recognize her babies and accept them, which that usually happens right away. But it takes the lambs a little while to figure out who mom is by her sound and her smell. So we're all done for today. Thank you for joining us at Norwal Farm, and we'll see you next time.